Hello, Snickers and Butterfingers. Okay, so today we're going to be doing a continuation of what we did yesterday, except even harder and in word problems. So, start out by filling in your order of operations. I know most of you know it by now, but it's written right here just in case, so you can pause the video because I'm going to keep going. I'm going to set up two problems for you, but I'm not going to solve them. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand how to find the equation and find what you need to substitute for the variables by looking at a word problem. So let's look at number one. The expression 3a plus 4b plus c can be used to find out how much Mrs. Perez spent on groceries for Mikey. Okay, I read that word problem, I already see an expression, so I'm going to stop. When I see an expression in a word problem, I need to write it down. So I have 5a plus 4b plus c, because I think that this is going to be important. Let's keep reading to see what we need to do with this. If the cost of a jar of baby food A is $2.40, pause right there. It is telling us one of the values we need to know. So I know A equals $2.40. And the cost of a bottle B is $1.30. So B equals $1.30 or 1.30. And the cost of a toy car C is $2.10. So C equals $2.10. How much did Mrs. Perez spend on toys? So we're trying to figure out how much she spent. This expression tells us how much she spent, and we have the value of each variable. So all we're going to do is plug into this expression. Remember, when you have a number next to a variable, it means multiplication. So it should look like this. 5 times 2.4, which is the same thing as 2.40, plus 4 times 1.3, which is the same thing as 1.30. You can get rid of that 0 at the end, plus 2.1. I'm going to put parentheses around it as well. So first thing you're going to do, multiply 5 and 2 4/10, multiply 4 and 1 3/10, and then add all of your terms together. And you'll have how much Mrs. Perez spent on toys. All right, I'm not going to solve it for you. You need to do the decimal multiplication yourself. Remember, do not line up the decimal. Now, let's look at the second one. The average height of a person can be shown by the equation h equals 1/2 w plus 30. Pause. We have an equation. Write it down. So h equals 1/2 w plus 30, where w equals wingspan. So keep that in mind. This w represents wingspan. What is the average height of a person with a wingspan of 68 inches? Right? If W represents wingspan in inches, and we know that the wingspan is 68 inches, we know what W is. W equals 68. So now I'm going to rewrite this out, substituting for W. So I have H equals 1/2 times 68 plus 30. Let's look at this. I'm a little bit confused because I see multiplying with fractions. I don't really remember how to do this. But then I look again. Multiplying by 1/2 is the same as dividing by 2. You can see this if you write out H equals 1/2 times 68 over 1 plus 30. This right here just becomes 68 over 2. So you just take this number that you're multiplying by 1/2 and divide it by 2. I know you guys can divide 68 by 2 on your own, so I'm not going to walk you through it. So finish up that problem on your own, and then you have, how many more problems? You guys have 5 more problems to do independently as well, and then there's a quick review of integers. Just looking at that last page, I think most of you guys will remember this, but just remember, absolute value is always positive. So the absolute value of -1 equals 1. The absolute value of 1 also equals 1. And then the last thing that you have to look at is 12 divided by 4 as a fraction is the same thing as dividing 12 into 4 parts, so it's going to equal 3. All right, as long as you have those two things, I think you should be able to do the rest of them on your own. I know it's been a while since we've done integers, but I know you guys can do it. Good luck.